where you stand, with all the day's demons in your hand. Reasons for the morning, but feelings for the night. Oh, keep hiding away from the light. With devils on both shoulders, monkeys on our backs, let's dig down deep into the black. If it's diamonds that we find, then we are not digging right. Oh, keep hiding away from the light. Whisper to me gently, careful where you stray. They'll follow you and strike down where you lay. I've heard the same from others, I'm inclined to say they're right. Oh, keep hiding away from the light. So give it to me strong, friend, lay it on me thick. Throw enough and hope that it'll stick. If your heart needs to bleed, then I'm not going to fight. Oh, keep hiding away from the light. And oh, in your voice I hear pain. And oh, in your eyes I see rain. And oh, in your mind we're slipping out of time. Tell me who you are, friend, show me where you stand. Drained of every thought at your command. When all our words are spoken, we'll sing into the night. Oh, keep hiding away from the light.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Folksville lockdown show. That was Paper Sparrows there ourselves with Keep Hiding Away from the Light. Hi Ross, how you doing?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. A lot of things have changed since episode 1 went out. You're in a new house. Colin's got a brand new double bass, and I've started drinking again. So we've been on quite the journey, all of us. And I should say, for those who watched episode 1, the reason we're back now is because of all the tremendous feedback and positivity that we received. So thank you for that, and that's why we've put this back together again. But for anyone who didn't see episode 1 and has never seen us live in our normal setup, Ross, where's Folksville, and where does Folksville normally take place?
Well, it normally takes place in the Waverley Bar in Edinburgh, St Mary Street. It's got a great history. We've been 5 or 6 years there now, but you go back and it's people like Ewan McCall, Bert Jansch, Willie Hershaw, others, Dave?
Yeah, I think the Corries, the Humble Bums, lots of fantastic acts. Of course, Old Bill, he's been there since the early 60s, I believe.
It was a kind of folk haven from back in the day, and it's still loads and loads of folk that go on there. And it was fantastic Ian Walker who had that place. He sadly passed away a good few years ago now. But it's got many memories for all of us, David, myself, and Colin. We should say hello to Colin, who's behind the scenes again tonight. Hello, Colin.
Hi, Colin. And if people are interested in following Folksville online and social media, we're in all the usual places, aren't we?
Yeah, they're on the community board just along from my house, Stornoway Gazette. I think we're in some Christmas crackers now, and any other places, Dave?
We're on CFACT, I think page 316.
That's right.
Get the Cowdenbeath score, and you can find out when the next Folksville gig is. The most important thing to come to tonight, obviously, is your wonderful donations bucket that you've got there, the famous Folksville tin. There it is. What we do normally is pass that tin round the Waverley Bar, get the donations and split the money evenly between all the acts that perform. We're going to do the exact same thing tonight, but we're going to do it via the link in the description to this video underneath. So there's a PayPal link there. You can donate there, give as much or as little as you can. But if you're enjoying yourself tonight and have some cash to spare, that would be much appreciated. And as I say, we'll split that across all the acts that are performing this evening. Without any further ado, Ross, why don't you tell us who's coming up on the show tonight?
Lydia Bennett is an Edinburgh-based singer-songwriter who's also involved in the Tinderbox Orchestra. One Mike plus two Keiths make a Scott-Curley-Allan, ex-members of Fun. We're looking forward to hearing their new material tonight. Great to have this lovable bunch back. The Pharisees are Glasgow's finest garage rock and roll band. We're going to unplug for us tonight and give us a bit of country. Papersparrows, your hosts, of course. We opened the show with our track Keep Hiding Away from the Light, and we're looking forward to playing you another tune later. Absolutely thrilled to have Chris Drever on the show. We're massive fans. We're trying not to be too giddy. Chris has a new album coming out on Reveal Records on October the 2nd. He's also got a UK tour next March, starting in Perth, making its way through places like Cardiff, London, Durham, and all the way to Glasgow on the 31st at St Luke's. So check out his website for more details on that tour and his new album. Back to Dave.
And I'm delighted to say we're joined by our first guest act of this evening, the wonderful Lydia Bennett. Hi, Lydia.
Hello. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Good. Yeah, doing good, thanks.
You've been a bit of a favourite over the last couple of years at Folksville. We've had you at the Waverley Bar a couple of times, and you've always went down an absolute storm with our audience. But for those people watching tonight who are maybe not quite as familiar with your music, do you want to just give a quick introduction about yourself and about your music?
Sure. So I'm Lydia. I am, I guess, a singer-songwriter. I'm scared of labels, but I guess I sing and I write. And I love to play with other people, so playing at the Waverley Bar is a fond memory, which hopefully won't be far away again. But I play in Edinburgh. I also play with a swing band called Stockbridge Rendezvous, and I play sometimes with Tinderbox, who are an awesome community orchestra. So I just love playing and connecting with people through music.
And I'm detecting a strong Dundonian accent. Would that be right?
Indeed. No, I have an extremely messed up accent, and no one can ever guess where I'm from. But I was actually born in Newcastle upon Tyne, of all places. So I'm a Geordie at heart, and I wish I had the accent. I can try. How are you, man? I can give it a go.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's all right. Why, aye, man. But proudly a Geordie at heart. But when I was 14, my family and I moved over to New Zealand, which again, another awesome place. So I spent a good 10 years in New Zealand, and then I moved back to the UK and to Scotland 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago. So but it's lovely to be in Edinburgh and feel at home here now. Cool.
Like David said, you've played at Folksville quite a few times, and I'm glad you're playing this song because it's one of my favourites. It's the canoe song. I think you can tell us a little bit about it, and I think it might be behind you.
It is indeed. So this canoe is a fond kind of icon of a lot of my friends. I used to live in this big flat with a load of wonderful creatives and just hilarious people, and we had this random chopped up canoe which you can't really see the top of, but it is a canoe. And it's also named like the scary carrot, screaming carrot. But yeah, anyway, that was picked up along the way somewhere before I had even lived there. But I guess that was part of inspiration, but the main inspiration was that I was out with these friends from this flat, and we were at a pub when it was normal to be at pubs, and I went to the toilet, and on the toilet wall was this quote, and I was like totally blown away by the quote. I remember having this like really drunken revelation about this quote. Anyway, carried on with my night, completely forgot about it, next morning I had to be at work at like 7 a.m. because I worked in a cafe. Turned up in with a like mean headache. It was awful from the night before, and I went to the toilet, and then all of a sudden this quote kind of like came back to me in this this melody, and I felt like all of a sudden blown away again by this quote. And so yeah, essentially that's how the canoe song came about, was in which I believe is where most great ideas come from. So
Well, great. We're looking forward to hearing it. So without further ado, here is Lydia Bennett with the canoe song.
Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. I am here to follow you around. I am here to take you down. I am here to show you around. And I am here to find my sound. And I am here to take you. And I am here to hold you. I am here to hollow you out. Inside this tunnel I will find my sound. So love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. And I am here to take your place. I'm wandering around this open space. I'm taking you back. I'm walking with haste. I'm wondering and hoping if you see my face. So love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. I am here to follow you around. I am here to take you down. I am here to show you around. And I am here to find my sound, find my I will find my sound. So love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe.
Save me the long speech, a stranger in my own street, and I feel like I'm out of place. My mind has been wandering too long, and come run away. Find a space on higher ground. know that you've heard it before. Plenty of fools chase this down before. I can't rest my mind though since my heart is in these walls, and I want us to run to the north and find a space on higher ground, make peace with the world again. You find me where I'm meant to be. Want us to run to the north and find a space on higher ground, make peace with the world again. You find me where I'm meant to be. Now I want us to run to the north and find a space on higher ground, make peace with the world again. You find me where I'm meant to be.
You've just seen Scott-Curley-Allan with Where I'm Meant to Be, and before that was Lydia Bennett with the Canoe Song, as Dave's demonstrated. Scott-Curley-Allan used to be in a band called Fawn, but they've gone out, struck out on their own. They run a rival folk club in Edinburgh down at Leith Depot. We've had them over at Folksville quite a few times, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah, and they've always been fantastic. I remember the very first time they came along to support Folksville, and they immediately agreed to help me out by playing at a fundraiser for leukemia research later that week. So that was really kind of them, and they've been such kind of great supporters of the local music scene and the local acoustic music scene in particular within Edinburgh. We had them along at our one of our shows at the Scottish Parliament a couple of years ago. That was a fantastic night, and it's always great to hear from them.
Yeah, we always have this little joke after a pint or two about the Anchorman scene, but having it as a folk club fight with banjos and fiddles and double basses and that. Before we go on tonight, I'll just mention again that you can donate via PayPal, and the links below in Facebook and YouTube, and that'll be split between the acts tonight. So if you want to give, do so.
Ross, have you still got the Magic Folksville bucket there? I've yet to give my donation.
I do indeed.
Wait now.
To me.
Right. I've never missed yet. Here we go. Never missed once. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
From Kelso to Cowdenbeath, it's the folk singer's favourite, Old Tozzer. Old Tozzer. There's nothing wetter or better for dadgad sandal wearers and old men with large ears. Old Tozzer.
Thanks there to Old Tozzer and all the good people at the Lochgelly Brewing Company for their continued support. Up next is going to be ourselves, Paper Sparrows, with another song. But before then, and speaking of commercial opportunities, Ross, I believe you've got a new product from the Paper Sparrows range to show the fine people at home.
I do indeed, Dave. We've got a limited edition run of 25 7-inch singles, a square one and a circular one. We've got on the A side, Sunday Shoes, on the B side, Dance in the Ashes. Neither of the tunes which we're playing tonight, but if you want a copy, like I say, they're limited to 25. Get in touch with the email address below or on Facebook, and they are £10 each. And actually, just as an aside, they were cut by Russ Wilkins, or Big Russ Wilkins and Lightning Holling, who played on our last show. So get in touch with him if you're after anything being cut.
So up next, I say we're going to play you a song, and after that we'll be back with wonderful Chris Drever, which is going to be really something special. But before then, here's Paper Sparrows with Whispering to the Waves.
so sure. Young and faithful and pure. And as I break down at the seams, I sold myself into a dream. I'm still frozen on the shore, whispering to the waves.
Leaves are green and the kids are buzzing. I hold my breath when I see someone coming. We've got the all blood spirit, hunker down, hunker down for a while. Hunker down, wind your neck in and hunker down. Some things change, some things stay the same. What you want and what you need may not be everything. We've got the all blood spirit. Yes, there'll be bluebirds over. Hunker down for a while. Hunker down, wind your neck in and hunker down. They took to the roads, to the sea and highlands, to the holiday homes and the private islands. The cupboards are bare, so you better keep giving. There's a man over there digging graves for the living. Hunker down, hunker down, hunker down, hunker down, hunker down, hunker down, hunker down for a while. Hunker down, wind your neck in and hunker down.
Welcome back. That was Chris Drever with Hunker Down, and welcome to Kris.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for joining us on Folksville. How are you getting on?
I'm okay. I'm locked in a 2-bedroom flat with my wife and 2 children under 5. But apart from that, you know, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
That song we just heard very relevant to what's going on
Yeah, well, so a friend of mine is a guy called Paul Silky White. He's a comedian, and he actually wrote most of that in a tweet. It was around the time that people in Eastbourne were talking about the disease as if it was the Luftwaffe, and he just wrote this tweet, which encompasses all the words of verse 2 and the chorus. And it just read, it wasn't, he was just passing comment on the situation, but it just read really poetically to me. So I just wrote a first verse and a middle and it was done. So I sent it to him in a message, and he was like, "Oh, that's good. You should." So I recorded it on just on my phone, and then like 50 or 60,000 people watched it. So I thought, I'll do a little recording of it.
How have you found that kind of creative process in lockdown? I know you've been doing a lot of your videos that you mentioned, and obviously doing a bit of songwriting, recording. Is it a challenge as kind of lockdown goes on to keep the creativity up?
It's as easy as it ever is. I go through periods where my songwriter's voice is strong, comes to me easy, and periods where it's very far away and I don't know how to connect with it at all. And it's it's quite an unconscious thing. So whenever, sometimes you have an idea for a song and you sit down with a guitar, and by the time you look up, the thing's finished, and that the voice has just gone down on the page, and you can believe it, and sometimes you have to kind of eke it out a bit at a time, and it takes months. And there's the believable voice is the thing, isn't it? It's like, I mean, for a lot of songwriters, very few of us are projecting our real inner voices when we're singing songs. It's like it's an alternative reality version of ourselves. So there's this voice that's somehow connected to us that we use because that little bit of reality makes everything believable and universal, and people can connect with that. But you don't want to just hang your dirty laundry out in front of everyone. That balancing act. So it's something about the subconscious acts of writing that bring out a real sincerity, I suppose.
Oh, well, I used to see you out and about, obviously a lot of gigs, and I shared a drink or two in the Royal Oak. I remember one of the last times barely remember it. It was you and I think Heidi and John McCusker were there. It was after a gig you'd done at the Pleasance.
The Royal Oak was always a fascinating place, isn't it? This mixture, like the Last Chance Saloons, you'd get a couple of lads in trackies, a 5 in suits up from London doing some kind of dodgy bank stuff, and then there'd be a Somalian saxophone player. Or it's just brilliant.
So over the years, you played with hordes and hordes of folk. Have you got standout memories of people or gigs?
I mean, I did a duo tour once with Tim O'Brien.
Oh, cool.
And that was amongst the most educational things I've ever done. I couldn't help kind of imitating things he was doing with strummed and picked instruments during the course of that. It's just a kind of infectious brilliance. The other one was Loud did a documentary about Jack Bruce. We were one of the backing bands for Jack Bruce on this documentary, and we played 2 or 3 numbers with him, Sunshine of Your Love being one of them, White Room being another one. And when I was maybe 10 or 11, one of my uncles gave me a Cream record, and it was one of the first tapes that I owned. And so a bit later, 3 or 4 years later, when I was playing music, one of my very first sort of musical heroes was Jack Bruce, and I used to play the bass and try and sing and play the bass like Jack Bruce. And then I found myself hanging out with him for maybe 3 or 4 days, rehearsals and filming all in. And we just had Brilliant time. And he's passed away now, but we used to keep in touch by email, and he was great crack. He used to sign his emails off Uncle Jack.
Superb. I guess we've talked about all the things you've been up to during lockdown. Is there any new music or anything out at the moment that you'd recommend, apart from your own stuff, obviously, that you've kind of heard over the last few months?
Yeah, there's quite a lot actually. A woman called Waxahachie. I've been digging that. And Morgan Road. I think they may be Swedish. I'm not sure. Morgonrode, I think. And that was recommended to me by Rowan Reingens. Thanks to Rowan for that. A song called Roger Ebert by a band called Clem Snide. Andrew Bird record that's just covers of the Handsome Family. I mean, I could go on, but that's probably that's probably enough.
Have you got any plans to do follows up with Ruddy and John or people like that?
Yeah, we're in the early stages of writing a new record. We have been in the same room 3 or 4 times and made some preliminary recordings of a number of songs, which is it's not. It's rare, not because we don't get on, just because nothing ever works out for us diary-wise. And then, so like what we're 12 years later, we're like, okay, well, make another record. Yeah, brilliant. Everyone's on fire for it. And then coronavirus. So, but we are kind of actively moving forward. My only idea really is maybe to do something like that and to do some recordings that aren't collaborative. Maybe to make some music that I have to be the source of all noise, because that's one thing I've never done. So even my solo records, I know loads of amazing musicians, and it always seems crazy not to go, hey man, can you come and be brilliant on my record, please? So I'm going to be brave and try and not do that for once.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, we look forward to all the things you've talked about, and thanks so much for joining us and playing for us this evening. And hopefully we'll see you at some sort of Folksville in the future, whether it's live or another one of these at some point.
We'll make it into the Waverley Bar. Lovely speaking to you guys. Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks, Chris. So everybody, just remember to check out Chris on all the platforms, Bandcamp and YouTube and all that, and Facebook. Next up, we've got Glasgow's finest garage band stripping down to do an acoustic set. Here are the Pharisees.
Black smoke grows, bootleg whiskey out on the road. I was hitching around the dead man's curve, and I ran around town any chance I could. Got a 283 sitting under the hood. I was hot and crazy with a mail-order gun, and with my reckless smile I realized it won't be long till I serve my time. So hear me, babe, I had nothing to lose. With an old guitar I learned to make some change. I'm legal now, but the veil's the same. Up on the stage, Thunder Road again. Let's ride. She said, how'd you like to play for a while? I was hitching around all over the place. Well, I came to believe that I could see her face, the only girl I couldn't displace. Coming apart with an angry gun blaring in my eyes. Somehow she made me realize, so help me babe, I've got something to lose. And the days don't seem so long ago, I risked my life out on Thunder Road. I'm upon the stage, Thunder Road again. I'm upon the stage, Thunder Road again.
Well, that was Glasgow's finest rock and roll garage band, the Pharisees, Matt, Ben and Anissa via Manchester and Dornoch, I think. They epitomise what we're about here at Folksville, getting people out with their comfort zone, unplugging and playing acoustic music, whether it be rock and roll, folk, Americana or spoken word. That was absolutely fantastic. Over to you, Dave.
Yeah, so for the last time tonight, Ross, do you have the Folksville donations bucket there?
I do indeed.
Just a reminder to everyone, if you have a look in the description below, you'll find a link to donate tonight via PayPal, and all the funds that are raised will be split between the artists that have performed for you tonight and kept you entertained. So if you can afford to do so, please give generously, and we'll be able to give something back to the artists. And this video is going to be available on our YouTube page, so if you're watching this after the fact, you can still donate via that PayPal link. And for the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to do that. And the song that we're about to come to next, the kind of closing number for the evening, that's going to be available for download as well, isn't it, Ross?
It is. If you want to find that, you can get that for free after this show on our Bandcamp page. So just search Folksville or the Folksville Lockdown Show on Bandcamp. And you can also get the song that we did as a joint song at the end of the last episode. And for this one, we're going to do You've Been a Friend to Me. It's an old standard made famous by the Carter family. It's got everybody that played in tonight, hasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it does, and that gives us a good chance to thank everybody. But before I do so, just one last reminder that the Paper Sparrows records are available as well. So if you want to get in touch with the band, again, there's details below. Feel free to get in touch, and we can post out one of them to you. So our big thanks go to Lydia Bennett, Scott-Curley-Allan, Mick and Titch, our friends from Leith Depot, the wonderful Pharisees, who you've just seen, and the multi-talented Chris Drever. Fantastic to have him on the show. Last but not least, of course, old Tozzer himself, Willie Hershaw from Lochелly. Big thanks to him. So that brings us to the end of the show tonight. I said we've got this one last song to go. Before we could come to that, big thank you all for watching and for donating and for all the positive feedback we had from episode 1. Please feel free to get in touch and make any suggestions for acts you'd like to see at future Folksvilles. But until we see you next time, you've been a friend to me.
My bark of life was tossing down the troubled stream of time. When first I saw your smiling face, and youth was in its prime, I'll never forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me.
Misfortune nursed me as her child and loved me fondly too. I would have had a broken heart had it not been for you. I'll never forget wherever I roam, wherever
past across life's troubled seas. And I smile to thinking all I've seen. You've been a friend to me. I'll never forget